All right, now, guys, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Where's all the guys? It's 1500 hours. It's good to be with you once again, guys. Let's get started with today's session. Tanya, I see you there. Good afternoon, Tanya. I see you there. Avi, I see you. Jules, I see you. Brett, good afternoon, guys. Well, before we get going, let's get into our disclaimer here, guys. Please do not construe this as advice. All the opinions that we will mention here today. Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory at this moment in time. Yeah, Avi, I know, smiling. Is there anyone else that has a big smile here? I think it's safe to say. Ah, I think it's safe to say that if you've not invited someone to the academy, then you are blocking something. Okay. Um, Honestly, at this point in time, at the rate we are going, guys, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right. So we're gonna jump straight into what we've been chatting about. It's 15:02 now. 15:02. And let's start off with the oil price here, guys. Oil price first. All right. So, a lot of diversion. This morning we chatted about it, guys. Look at this. A lot of the diversion has now come into play. We're seeing it dip below the $89 a barrel. I'm going to park this one right here. All right, right here. And then I'm gonna go over to gold now. Remember, I spoke to you guys about not being greedy. You guys remember that? You guys remember that? That's 250 pips of clean, hard-earned cash if you were in gold. It's clean, it's earned. Leave this, you see, leave this alone. Leave that alone. This year gives people FOMO. And you guys know we're not interested in that. We're not even worried one bit about this part. All we worried about, what is our main word here that you guys have been checking out or hearing? What is our main word over here that we are getting everybody to leave, this beautiful movement? That's just extra cash. But what is the word there that we are trying to get everybody to at this point in time to understand, to duplicate? All right, consistency. Yes, nice try there, Brett. Though, all right, I'll give you half a mark. That's what they used to do in school, like the attempt. I'll say, okay, I'll give you half a mark. Remember? But Jules, yes, consistency. That is it, guys. Consistency from this area to this area. Done. Look at silver. Smashed my take profit, got into it, smashed my take profit over there. It's now coming down. You see that? Consistency, traders. Nothing more, nothing less. Not trying to give anyone, make promises to people. There's no extra hidden sauce that we need to put in here. It's market structure and skilling yourself in the understanding. Look at NZD. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. From there to there. Look at this. Look at AUD USD. Look at this, guys. Is everybody tracking here, guys? Let me just pause, guys, because we can finish the stream now. We can honestly finish the stream right now. All we looked at was what? Market structure, divergence, and that's it. We looked at market structure and divergence. All right. Look at NAS. Look at NASDAQ. All right. Look at S&P 500. It's coming. I'm actually waiting for the correction. I'd like to get in here. I'm waiting for the correction. All right. Now remember, this one also has some chains here. It's got links. It's got links here, guys. There's a chain. There's a link right here. That's a link. Yep, that's the link. Here it is. Price could be coming back to this link over here. Do you see that? So I'm going to leave it for now. If it goes up and I'm not in the bus, I'm not worried about it. All right? I'm not worried about it because it's not about greed here. All right? Look at this Euro JPY. Whew, look at this. Look at this absolute beauty here. Down, correction. I got into that correction now. I'm waiting to take it down to this zone. That's it. That's all. I'm just taking it down to that zone over there. Look at Euro AUD. I'm already in here. You guys remember Euro AUD? You guys remember Euro AUD? I said to you, I took a short there and it was dramatic. Look at this now. I've got 2 trades in here, guys. I've got 2 trades in here. Tell me you're not seeing this. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, it's all about structure and learning the skill on how to trade the structure. That is it. There is no hidden indicator. There's no step-by-step strategy, that you need to learn here. It is structure. Price creates lows, lower lows. All right. And every single, just hold on for me. Just hold on for me 1 second here quickly, guys. Hold on 1 second. All right. And what structure does is, it is like a link to a chain. Impulse, pullback. The pullback is a link. Next, I don't know what you call it, guys. Who is there any jewelers here? Is there any jewelers over here? Is there any? They can just tell me it's a link and then it's a what? Just what do you call them? Is it just links, or what connects the chain? Is it links, or if there's any jewelers here, let me know. But that's how the market structure works. All right, you'll find that with watches, there's a clasp. Okay, so it's a clasp and a link, right? Am I right there, Jules? It's a clasp and a link. I don't know. Please let me know. So I'm looking for 2 things that get joined together every time. And when you look at the markets, it's a impulse and a correction, impulse and a correction, impulse and a correction. That gives market structure. If you understand that, it's going to make it so much easier. I hope I got, Jules, you got to help me out here, bud. All right. So that's all this is coming down here. That's it. That's it. Euro USD did not break any of the links. That's why it never came down. But the Euro USD followed Euro CAD. And where's Savage? AV, look at this sucker here. Look at USD Swiss franc. It went down. Look at this. Whew. Going all the way down to number 2. This was yesterday's. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Tandy, is it a clasp? Is it a link? What is it? Help a brother out here. All right. Look at this. Look at that. Going down to 2 now. Hey, Shirley Shakes. Then we have GBP CAD. This one is obviously, it hasn't broken below 1.87, so I'm not thinking anything of it. Same here with NZD CAD, and then look at Euro CAD. Broken beautifully above there. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'm in there. I'm waiting. This is just a waiting game now. And then guys, look at this. Remember the oh, this is AV. This is yours, right? This is yours, right? T, is there any fresh responses there? I don't know. Maybe I'm links makes more sense. Okay. I don't know if I'm getting if I'm a bit delayed here, but yeah. Yeah, so the links makes a little bit more sense. It must have been Savage then here, right? So Savage wanted the buy here. There we go. 93 going up. Beautifully analyzed. And then look at this, guys. AUS 200 still in that same setup. Has not broken. Oh, they're on time. Okay, thanks, T. Thank you. Appreciate you, darling. So, guys, we can clearly see that this, if you now go to a 1 hour, do you see how it's fed into this impulse? So this is fed back into this impulse. Now it's either we're going to go further up or we're going to come down. Now, before we can go further up, because this is done now, before we go further up, there's links over here. All right, there's links over there. So let's go and look at those links. Let's see. Aha, here you are. See here? There's the link right there. So now when I go down, watch very carefully. Watch. Watch. Uh-huh. Yeah. You see? Look at all those links there. This link is keeping that impulse alive. These links are keeping that alive. Hold on, let's go. I can use a 5-minute. There we go. Watch now. Watch now, okay? So impulse into the links here, right? If it breaks the link, it moves up. If it doesn't, it's all market structure. It's nothing different. It's all market structure. It's all market structure, guys. Nothing different from what we've been saying. That's why I use the zig. You guys see how important the zigzag is? People don't use the zigzag. I don't know why they don't use the zigzag. So this link, that's the last resistance before we go up. That's the last link before we go up. Okay. Do you see that area there? I give you my prediction that price gonna touch one of these two levels here. If it breaks and closes above, we go all the way to the top. If it resists there, trade for tomorrow. Are you guys with me? It took you out, Dixon, it took you out. How? Bud, tight stop loss. Guys, second trade here. Now, remember they said that you can chow or you can make cash every day? It's if you understand market structure. Hold on. Did you put your stop loss there? Am I right? Did you put it there? Watch out for these whoopsaws, okay? Because if you go to a high time frame, it was just a rejection. That's why scalping is so. Were you at your desk? Because I can understand if you weren't at your desk. All right. So just be careful of those whoopsaws. All right. So guys, here's a second trade. This can happen. It can still happen today. It's 15:15 now. We can reach there and we can start coming down. We can start preparing to drop. But if it breaks above that area over there, we continue with the impulse to the upside all the way 100% on the fib. But remember, 4 hour, if you go to the high time frames, this is all minutes now. If you go to the higher time frames, there's actually some more possible downside here. So this is a nice correction. Unless we break there, then we go up. But right now, this is just a pullback from that impulse. That's it. That's how we're treating it. Hope that's clear there. Oh, you were out. Okay, you see. Yep. The EuroCAD hit 2. Yes, it's there. So let's leave this one. I mean, gold, it goes without saying, guys. This one is pushed through like completely. Look at that. Completely. Now, if you guys remember in the beginning of the week, I came in and I said to you guys, NZD, AUD, Euro USD, all of them are actually bullish. And what we're experiencing is a correction. It's exactly what I was referring to. If you go to the beginning, I said to you that this is actually, there's more upside here because of the divergence here. This is actually a higher high. This is a correction. So we're actually supposed to go far up to there. And it seems like we just had intraday corrections now. So this is really, really, really cool. All right. So, okay. So let's do a loop around now. So the gold price, guys, I'm going to leave it as is. Okay. I'm not going to touch it. I'll be back at 6 o'clock with this one, obviously. Obviously, we're going to be out. I actually want the US Open first. Okay. So I'm not going to touch this. All right. I just want to see where this one actually goes because we've already had, this is the move. Resistance. You see this move down here? That's the move down. It just doesn't look like it. But that's a low. This is actually a lower low. It's a very strange, it's a peculiar way to say it. All right. Because of the divergence. This is a resistance. Low, lower high, lower low. And now break of structure. Break of what structure? That area there. That's why we're ascending. It's a very odd way to say it because price, it looks so obscure. That's one of the biggest reasons why people don't understand the movement, because it looks like this is up, but actually this was coming down in terms of strength, not the chart. The strength was actually exhausted here. That's what was actually happening. It just doesn't look like it because our minds work differently. That's why you got to get perspective. All right. That's why, guys, I am totally close to when people say, I have it all figured out. I have it all figured out. No. We got to be open to perspective. All right. It doesn't look like it is or has come down, but you got to start shifting your mind to see the strength of value or the weakness in value versus what the eye see. Is everybody clear there, guys? Can I just pause there? I just said something that you need to take in. We got to start training our eyes to see the strength of value versus the weakness in the value. Not what you see here. This is just technicalities. All right? That's like you got to see the strength in value. So I'm going to leave that as is. Silver, I'm going to leave as is for now. Okay? NZD USD, guys. All right. So from our perspective, we can clearly see that this guy has now, through that divergence, it's exactly that setup that I spoke to you about. I said to you, that's the support. There's the support. It's exactly what I said to you. There's the support. I drew it in there. So this is actually a V. All right. It's now created and finished the move till there. So, but if I go to a 4 hour, or let me go a bit higher, there is still divergence here, guys. Look at that. There's still divergence here. All right. Let me go to an 8 hour. There we go. There's still divergence there. There's still divergence here. Okay. So for the New Zealand dollar. All right, this is what we're going to do now. This is the impulse we're dealing with. The 1 hour has already pushed up. We're looking at this from a higher time frame perspective now. This higher time frame has linkages. All right, there's links in here. So if I drop down, I can see the links. All right. Come on, sorry. There's the link. That's the link to the impulse. That was the link to the impulse. All right. Now watch when I go down. Do you see price broke above this area here and is now breaking above? You see it's going to touch this area here now. It's just touched it. Look. See that? It's broken past that area there. It's touched it. Can you see that? So it's now gone to the top of this link over here. Now, if we come down because of the divergence, all right, if we come down because of the divergence, let me do this, because now we know it has touched the top side of these two structures. If we come down, we are not worried about this now. Now we got to focus here, because inside of this, there's also links now. All right. So if I go down, let's look for the link, for the linkages. It's already come to, oh my, look at this. You're going to find it now. There it is. It's already come down to that link there. Do you guys see that? Look at that. From there, it's already come down. That's the first one. Here's the second one. So that's one link there. And this is a link over here. Now, price has already come to that link. Do you see that? And it's corrected after it came through. So if we come down again, we have to come to this area over here. But that means we're going to have to break the links here. That's what I'm saying, guys. If the more technical you become, it becomes a little bit more intricate here. So now we know that's a possible area there. Now we need to switch over to this side here now. Market structure is telling us this is still a lower high. It's created low, lower low, lower low, lower high. If you're looking at it from that angle's perspective. Now, if price breaks, remember this is a 30-minute. If price breaks that high, then obviously we're pushing a little bit higher now. But the divergence is still here. Remember, this is a resistance. It's a resistance. So this is a lower high. If you look at it like that, that's a lower high. Look. Look, it's a lower high. I hope everybody's tracking with me here, guys. So this is actually a lower high. All right, that's on the 4 hour. Now, if it has to break there, it simply means it's a continuation to these zones over here, because it means this resistance, this is a slowdown. Every time you see price, it means price is slowing down. When you see these links being developed, there's a slowdown. Don't forget that, guys. The blue is acceleration. The red is slowing down. So right now, price accelerated. In that acceleration, there's links there. So let's go look for them. All right, let's go look for them. Remember, I'm in the gray block, right? See, no weakness whatsoever. No weakness at this point. There's the weakness. There it is. So if we want to come down here, we got to break these areas here. Do you guys see that? So look. You guys see that there? Look at that. And look at that there. All right, so watch now. Look there. It's nothing so far. I'm checking it out. Nothing. There's a lot of levels here, which is great. Look there. There we go. So on this one, I can use the 1 minute. All linkages. You guys see that? You guys with me here? Do you guys see these three over here? That's the highs. So what we're looking for here now is for the lows to be broken. We're looking for the lows to be broken. Because if it breaks below those areas, remember, if price, even if it comes down in here, it can come to the high and then bounce up again. But if it breaks the lows, that's what we're after. We'd like the lows to be broken. So that's the first zone. Let's look. That's the links for the first zone. Let's look what they look like. I'll only sell if it breaks these areas here. 1. It's a zone. It's a zone. 2. Hold on. That's the first zone. All right. First zone there. That's the first area. I'll only sell if it breaks, if it starts coming down below that. Then we have this zone here. Now, 1 minute there's too many. There's too many lows here. So I'm going to use a 2 minute where I can find less. But they all still connected. Even although it's less, they're all still connected because they're in the same block. There's the first, here's the second, and here's the third. There we go. So I'm going to show you now from an impulse perspective. You're going to see it now. You're going to see it now. That's why you don't have to trade so many things, guys. You can just trade. Just learn to deal with 1 or 2 or 3. You don't have to trade everything. I just trade or just have a few because I want to give you guys a variety. But you don't need to. You don't need to. All right, so look at this now. There and there. All right, now watch. Before we can come down here to this chain, I have to break here. Do you guys see that? Before I come down here, I have to break these areas here first. Do you guys see that? All right. Price is not going to move lower down. It can bounce from this area. This is what we are dealing with. This is the impulse. Unfortunately, what's happening here now is that all the strength was here at the bottom. If the strength was on top, we would have had a beautiful sell, just like with this Euro AUD. Do you see this Euro AUD? The strength was at the top. That's why I could get a nice sell here, because all the strength was on top. When it comes to the NZD USD, the strength came in here, which gave us less links to work with. Do you guys see that? I hope that is clear there, guys. The strength came in over here. This is what it needs to beat. There's no links over here. It's just impulse. It's aggression. The weaknesses came in here. So before I can go down, which is about 22 pips, and I mean you can stretch it out, guys. 58 right there. So and remember, this is the only from there to there. Once it starts breaking below this area, now you have lower levels. There's a new impulse there. So now you go higher. Now you go higher, which means that this was a link. In that link there, or in the weakness here, there's a support. Now if it keeps breaking, and we can take it all the way down till there, that's 81. We unfortunately dealing with what? Shorter time frames. The weaknesses is at the bottom. So if you're trying to sell here, you're selling into a problem. You're selling into a problem. If you try to sell now, you're going to be selling into strength. You want to sell into weakness. Ooh, you can quote me on that one. Don't sell into strength, guys, because there's strength. See how it's going there? Look there. You want to sell into weakness or buy into weakness. All right. Look at the S&P 500 now. This was a buy. This was a buy into weakness. That strong buying into a weakness. You see that? Are you with me there? USD Swiss franc, strong sell into a weakness. Hit that area exactly. Look at that. Exactly. Look at that. Are you with me? Euro CAD bought into where? A weakness. Is that not how the world works, guys? Look how it's eating into that area I spoke to you about now. Look at that. Look how it's eating. It went, I told you, it's going to touch that area or touch there. If it breaks above this zone here, we go up. All right? If it buys, this is the weakness. So if it buys above and closes above the weakness here, we continue up. But if it rejects at this weakness, it becomes a strength. So that's a resistance now. We have a sell. This red candle amongst the green is powerful because it's a link. That's where the link is. So if price comes down and breaks that link, we have a beautiful sell to the downside. Guys, you can't get these things, guys. Ooh, you can't just get it. Guys, hear me today. All right. Look at this. Sold it into a weakness, but I had to wait a little bit there. So NZD USD, guys, there's nothing we can do. This one's gone. This is what it means by once it's bought into the weakness and it's gone, you've missed the trade. Guess what? FOMO starts acting up now. This is where the guy starts saying, oh no, man, I got to buy. I have to buy now. Okay, go buy. Go and buy. There's literally no weak points here. Look at this. I'm on the 5-minute candle, 4-minute candle, 3-minute candle, 2-minute candle. No weakness. Don't worry about this. You're looking for weakness. What is the weakness? The pullback. This is not a pullback, guys. Are we together? A pullback is when it reaches a high. Are we together? And then comes down from there. Is everybody clear, guys? Okay. So let's loop around here quickly. Let's see what's happening. So gold, very similar. Bought into the weakness, we pushed up. Silver, look how it's rejecting at that place right there. Look how it's rejecting there. So when we come back at 6, oh man, this is, wait. This thing becomes obsessive. Look at that. All right. I can show you where's the weakness here. Let's see if there's a weakness. If it's at the top. There we go. There's a weakness. There it is. There's a weakness. You see that? So here's the lows now. I'm gonna leave it as is. When we come back, we'll talk. There, 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 and hold on. Yeah, it can bounce anywhere from in there. There it is. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, so look at this now. Here's the price. If the silver price breaks below here, I anticipate it to come down further. Look at that. That's the weakness. If you sell now, you're selling into a lot of strength still. But this is the weakness in that impulse. So if we dip below this area, I anticipate it to come back down. All right. That's very important. And then S&P, yeah, it's come back down now. All right, so here we go. Okay, so I'm buying into strength. Well, I'm buying into a zone now where we took out the link. I beg your pardon, I shouldn't have said it like that. So I bought into an area where there was a weakness, and I'm anticipating price. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to trade it beyond this impulse. Even if price comes down, it's okay. It's an impulse and a pullback here. This becomes a pullback, all right? Even if it comes down till here, it's fine, as long as it doesn't do that. Because then now it's in this one here, so I don't want that. So even if it does that, I couldn't care less. It's okay. It happened with the Euro AUD there as well, all right? Is everybody clear, guys? I think we're clear here. Everybody clear? Look at that AUD USD. Everybody clear there, guys? Can I make sure everybody's clear? Let's see. Look at NAS doing a correction as well. All right. So guys, and then remember, guys, our TDME, Tandi has placed it in our chat facility there. If you do not have a crypto account, guys, you can open one. Visit www.tdmarkets.io. This is where you can obviously hold, guys. You can hold quite a bit of positions via crypto. I'll be chatting a little bit about that in the next day and two. We still have Thursday, Friday. I'm gonna put the platform up there, and then I'll show you a little bit of that as well. But at this point, all I'm seeing is that the dollar did not strengthen as much today. There was a bit of a recovery yesterday, but today, totally different ball game. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens from here on out. Okay, so let's watch it, guys. Let's watch it. We have the gold, we have the silver. There's that weak point over there. NZD USD, the weak point's at the bottom. It's right at the bottom, right there. And then the AUD USD, we didn't do this one over here. We did do the... Did we do the S&P? We didn't do the S&P. Sorry, we were busy with the NZD USD. Sorry, that's the one we were dealing with. It was this one here. I remember now. All right. So let's see how it plays out, guys. But the Euro CAD is still good, still in for longs there. BTC Bitcoin still in there. Solana, I'm just waiting for 104 here. Solana, I'm waiting for 104. Once I get a break above 104, I'm going for a buy to 199. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. And then, this one's done. Look at this. Dixon, done. Done, 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 done. AUS 200 still pushing up. All right. So, guys, I think it's good. I think we had a successful, consistent day. Let's see how we progress, and I'll see you guys at 6 o'clock. All right. 6 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. I love it when we come in and we can push forward quickly. Look at this now. Look at that. I'll see you guys at 6 o'clock. All right. Laters. Ciao, ciao, guys.